최근 몇 년간 고대 실로에서 성경 유적이 발견됐는데요. 한나가 아들을 달라고 기도한 곳이자 40년간 성막이 세워져 있었던 장소가 발굴됐습니다. 자세한 소식 전해드립니다. 발굴은 2019년에 시작돼 지금까지 이어지고 있습니다.
Well, in season one, our hypotheses were just formulating. We thought that we had a monumental building up here from the pier to the tabernacle. We thought that this could be a gate complex because there was no glacis in this section. Since then, we've come way down, 5 meters or so, maybe 6 meters in some places. And so now we can see the various structures that are here, and indeed we can now say that this is very likely the gate that's referred to in the Bible. And that's pretty big stuff.
발굴단을 이끌고 있는 스카 스터플링 박사는 이 발견의 중요성을 이야기합니다.
Well, the Bible tells us that Eli is in the gate of Shiloh when he gets the news that the Ark of the Covenant has been captured, that his sons have been killed. He falls over backwards and dies in the gate. Yeah. So it's a function that's mentioned in the Bible, so we were very curious if we would come across it.
실로는 엘리 제사장이 살고 죽었던 곳일 뿐만 아니라 여호수아가 12지파에게 약속의 땅을 분배했던 곳이며 한나가 아들을 달라고 기도했던 곳입니다. 한나의 아들은 선지자 사무엘이었습니다. 또 400년 동안 성막이 서 있었습니다.
This is where you came to connect with God. Jerusalem remains a pagan city for another 300 years. The ark is here, the tabernacle is here, and this is where you came to connect with God.
스터플링 박사는 이곳이 성전이 있었던 곳이라고 믿습니다.
Well, I'm not ready to say I know for certain, but I'll tell you what we do have is a building that is matching the dimensions of the tabernacle. It's from the Iron One period, which is the tabernacle period of Eli and Samuel. And you're actually standing right now, Chris, on this wall right here. So this entire area is this massive monumental building, orients east-west, and it's divided on a 2-to-1 ratio like the tabernacle was.
스터플링 박사는 바로 이곳에 언약궤가 있었을 것으로 봅니다.
Well, the holy place and the most holy place.
Yeah.
So the Holy of Holies, if we're correct in our theory, would be right in here. This between these walls would be where the Ark of the Covenant was.
Can we go in?
Let's go. Come on. All
So
right.
what are we walking into right now?
This is the wall that would separate the holy from the most holy. Okay? So you're entering into the Holy of Holies. All right? So there's this big wall on your right. Down here you can see where we've reached the bottom. This is preserved to 2.1 meters, and this is floor level. So this whole area in here, about where we're standing, come on with me here. All right. You're probably standing where the Ark of the Covenant was.
Wow.
How does that suit you?
It makes me feel, profound, for one.
Well,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. How do you feel when you're here?
There's a sense of awe. I just have to tell you, professionally as an academic, I'm in awe. And then as an evangelical Christian, I'm in awe, to have the privilege to be able to excavate a site like this. What I take from this is that God did something in history. He recorded it for us in the Bible. We have evidence of it here. One of the great things about our faith is that you can question it. God's ego isn't bruised. People have questions, viewers do. That's honest, express those. And I would just invite people to look at that evidence. And if they've bought into the idea that the Bible's mythology or it's not historical, I would encourage them to look at what we're finding here at Shiloh, read the text, pray about it, decide for themselves.
And so this is where the Bible comes to life?
This is what we do. We don't just walk the Bible, we dig the Bible here at Ancient Shiloh. As we dig into the soil, we are literally seeing the evidence of what life was like in biblical times.
And nearby you also have a site of bones.
Well, I tell you what, we're in the bone business, Chris. Come on, I'll show you what it's all about.
Okay.
And this path is going to lead us to where the bone deposit is that we've been talking about. So the people working over here are doing something they'll never forget the rest of their lives. I mean, they are uncovering evidence of the sacrificial system. These were animals that brought expiation. I mean, it brought about the forgiveness of sin for people as they connected with God in this manner. So you'll see it for yourself. The pottery and the bones, they tell an unmistakable story that matches what we read in the biblical text. This entire area underneath our feet, Chris, this is unexcavated. Underneath your feet and my feet is about this much of solid bone waiting to be excavated. Bone on top of bone on top of bone. And we have microstratigraphy in this area so we can see that the deposition is laid down over a long period of time, just like the Bible says.
And what kind of bones would we find here?
Sheep, goat, cattle, and disproportionately from the right side of the animal. It's like just this morning, we're seeing disproportionate jawbones from the right side as opposed to the left.
You described it before, but again, why is the right side so significant?
Well, the priests are the ones who live here, and Leviticus 7 tells us that the right side of the animal is the priest's portion. So I can't make this stuff up, you know? You got 100,000 bones and they're disproportionate. Give me another explanation. Just happens to coordinate with what the Bible says.
나팔 소리가 울리고 작업 시간이 끝났음을 알립니다. 올해의 작업은 끝났지만 앞으로 몇 년간 계속해서 발굴이 이어질 예정입니다.